Question is, who are we going to see it from? And it looks as though they're just letting these flywheels wind down now. So Camilla, Shane, we'll find out soon enough. But Shane, as we see these athletes getting prepped, what would be going through your mind just moments before a race start like this?
Well, in this range of athletes, I am out here to prove myself at this point. If I'm them, I'm looking to cement my name on this stage, and the gravity of that is going to be weighing on my shoulders as I'm getting ready to get into this race. Now, we did just have a reported false start here, so it looks like we will be restarting this race. So we'll have a few more moments as things get started. But that would be my take on this. I'd be sitting here in ready to compete and truly having fun with it, but also there would be a level of seriousness to this race for me if I were in this position. Camilla, how would you be feeling?
Well, certainly if I was Michal Krishnani and Anand Krishnani with the whole, it looks like, team behind him for this event, I'd certainly be feeling proud, but also, you know, those pre-race nerves. It's a big event, this, the under-23s category. We're going to see some huge scores. And there's the man that I was just talking about, Leo Moister of Estonia. We're now live with Jacob Martins, Caterino Francisco, and it looks like we might be underway again. That false start cleaned up in super quick time. Once again, big thanks to our partners at Time Team, Concept 2 and Tencent Cloud for keeping us racing. And as all of those little yellow boats shuffle around, we'll just wait a couple of seconds before we announce who's leading this race, because as we know, this first 250, it's all just a bit of a blur, isn't it, Shane?
It certainly is. And while we're taking this time to let the boats settle, I also wanted to give a call out to two of the athletes that we could also keep our eyes on based off of their reported times from the qualification score would be Alex Byrne and Ivan Korsunov. So keeping an eye on those two athletes as well. All three of them, as well as Moist, as you had mentioned, all went sub-6 in their qualification scores. So we do have a handful of athletes here that may be able to take us into that sub-6 territory. And the question will be how it actually pans out. Alex Byrne, certainly with a strong start, looks like trying to make a statement.
Yeah, I mean, big oversight from me here to miss off Alex Byrne in my pre-race overview, because a 5:51.6 qualifying time, huge, a huge time. And I wonder, given that surname, whether he is a relative of Ronan Byrne, who we see on the water competing for Ireland. But I guess we'll see how he progresses. He's gotten off to a really great start. Again, some great pictures from all around the world here. This is absolutely incredible, isn't it? But back to the race at hand, on the left-hand side of your picture, Alex Byrne setting out at a 1:29 split. He certainly needs to be that or lower, Shane, if he wants to get into the heady heights of a 5:51 once again.
There's no question about it. He knows what he's got to do, and anybody who wants to go into that sub-6 territory, they know exactly what kind of splits they need to hold. And just a testament to how quick these athletes are moving. We're already seeing them passing 1,300 meters on this. I mean, just stunning how quickly a race like this can go at this level. Now, to them, of course, it feels like an eternity, but to those of us watching and commentating, it is a different ball game, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It seems to go by in a flash for us. We're already through 800 meters with the leaders, and very easy for us to say, sat here. So, well, for me in my living room. But also these guys here, Alex Byrne, our leader, who we're just jumping to now, looks like he's in his living room as well, or the spare room, right? This is far from the ideal kind of environment that you'd maybe look to perform a PB or your best 2K performance in, but these guys are just getting on with it, and you adapt to your circumstances, you adapt your training plan in order to be able to put in these big times that these guys are looking for. And as we go through the halfway marker, clear, just completely transparent between Byrne and Moister here at this point, Shane. That's a big old gap there. We've seen so much overlap in the previous races, not to be seen here for Byrne.
Yeah, and you made a point earlier to the adaptability of these athletes, and it's an important note to call out for every athlete that's competing over our 3 days of racing, is to just say truly how amazing it is that they are able to adapt and have adapted over this last year. To be able to do this is truly incredible, and to maintain your drive and to maintain your training and even to be able to compete on a world stage in a living room says a lot about your ability to adapt. And so I want to give a round of applause to every athlete that's out here today competing, because they truly deserve it. And kudos to everyone.
Same from me, Shane. Absolute kudos to everyone. But we're coming into the crunch time now. We're midway through that third 500. I think if there is any time that a move will be made, this will be it. This is where we start to see where the race strategies play off. And we've got a really tight pack of athletes here between Leo Moister of Estonia behind that leader who's comfortably leading, Alex Byrne. I think we're just going to be keeping an eye on the clock for him. I don't think he's in danger of losing that gold medal position. But further down, the medals are all to play for. Leo Moister currently sat in silver ahead of Ivan Kursanov and Alexander Bulat. Two teammates there, thrashing it out from Moldova. Absolutely great to see them up here in the medals, with only meters separating them coming into 500 meters, Shane.
Yeah, and the race strategy can change in an event like this, where you have that first, second, and third place split up by as much as they are. It may force you to go out of your game plan and make a move before you're ready, as we're seeing right now. Moist and Korsunov having to take it down into the 129s, where perhaps that was not what they were set up to do, and Byrne able to sit and hold that 130 now, knowing that he's got that comfortable lead. How can he hold that into this final 250, and then how can he make enough of a move to solidify that spot?
It is just absolutely great to be able to see the pictures alongside the graphics that we've got. I could see a really significant change there in the way that Byrne was approaching the stroke coming into 250 meters to go. It was almost like a switch went on in his mind. He went up through those rating patterns. He's now at 36 when he was down at 31 just a moment ago. And he knows that he's got to come into the line at pace to stay underneath that 6-minute mark. We're at 5:40 with just a few strokes to go. Are we going to see our first sub 6 minute 2K time of the day? I sincerely hope so. Leo Moister also crowding in, trying to get a piece of the action on the podium, holding off Ivan Kursanov and Alexander Bulat. And there it is, ladies and gents, and everyone here watching, a 5:55.3 from Alex Byrne of Ireland. Sensational stuff, Shane.
Yeah, truly a great performance, and unsure how it's actually going to pan out, but I believe we've seen multiple times now come in sub 6 today. Those athletes pushed each other, and that competition truly, I believe, aided each and every one of them in the finals today, in that finish that we just saw.
So the final few strokes now, you can just see some of the athletes still rowing. As they cross the line, all the supporters gathering round to congratulate each of their individual friends, family, teammates, wherever it is that they're taking part, and whatever crowd that they've got gathered to support them and congratulate them. Lovely to see these images coming in. And the last of our competitors here, Caterino Francisco, closing in on the finish line. But I knew that this was going to be a pretty heated race, a pretty punchy race, lots of adrenaline, lots of fire. And I'm sure we'll see the same in the women's race in just a moment. Just as much guts, adrenaline, fire from that open under 23 race as well. Sorry, that women's under 23 race as well. But it's, I think, just goes to show you that race pace is everything, Shane.
It absolutely is. And there is nothing like race day to make you perform at your best. I believe there are 3 athletes under 6 minutes for the qualifying times, and we're seeing 4 here. So our solidified results here: Alex Byrne in first, 5:55.3, Leo Moist with a 5:57.3, and Ivan Korsunov with a 5:58.2. But a 4th athlete there coming in under that 6-minute barrier. Truly remarkable.
So just a review of all of the results there. Everyone, of course, we want to show you the times of everyone that competed in that under 23 men's event, the penultimate event of the day. And I'm looking